Hello guys and welcome to Vlogging Project. ZTE released the Axon 9 Pro in late 2018 and decided to charge 650 euros for it. And thank God for that, nobody bought it, and now it's just been discounted to 300 euros guys, which is absolutely ridiculous price for what this phone offers. Dare I say this is the new flagship killer of 2019? Maybe? But there is one potential deal breaker for many of you out there. What exactly am I talking about? I'm going to cover it in my full review now. But before that, if you're interested in the unboxing experience and size comparison of this phone, make sure you check out my full unboxing in the description down below. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's have a look at the design and build quality first, and let me tell you that I absolutely love the way this phone looks guys. The glass back reminds me of the latest HTC devices, although I must admit it feels a little bit hollow, but that is not a problem in that case because you've got a case in the box for free. And one pro tip from me guys, if you're gonna work on your car or you're gonna do something dirty, just flip the case like that and use the phone temporary. It works fine with the case just like that. Get your job done and after that remove the case. Moving on to the side, we've got our power button which is reached along with the volume buttons, and their placement is just perfect guys. Check this out, when you hold the phone like that, that's the power button here, volume rockers here. I really love that. On this side we've got our SIM card slot and nothing else. At the top we've got our dual microphone setup. At the bottom we've got one of our two speakers, USB Type-C port, another microphone, but unfortunately the 3.5mm jack is nowhere to be seen. Moving on to the front, we've got the 20 megapixel front facing camera, notification LED along with the face unlock sensor, and that's the second speaker actually, covered in a metal mesh. Now let's check the fingerprint reader speed. Check this out guys, one of the fastest fingerprints available at the market right now. I'm really happy with it, it's 100% accurate, I would say it's one of the best. Now let's have a look at the face unlock. Check this out guys, almost instantaneously, and it works again 100% of the time. You've got double tap to wake the screen as well, so I can't really complain of the unlocking methods of this phone. And now let's have a look at the screen, which as I said might be a deal breaker for you, but before that, a feature that I really like when the Axon 7 was released. I've got this review done as well, you can check it out on my channel. Check this out guys, the ZTE locker. Every time you swipe and every time you lock and unlock your phone, you've got a different wallpaper. Problem with that is that the wallpapers that I see look a little bit outdated. I'm sure I've seen some of them on the ZTE Axon 7 like 3 years ago. So yeah, although it is there, the wallpapers are a little bit outdated, but definitely that's a huge bonus. And now what about the screen itself? As you can see, the screen is okay, 6.2 inches at 1080p. The problem is that you've got totally no options to tweak the colors at all, so naturally the phone looks a little bit, how can I put it, on the warm side. When you go to the settings guys, I know it looks a little bit different on camera, but unfortunately it's a little bit too warm to my taste, and you can definitely say that they have used a like 3-year-old AMOLED screen and they just chopped it out, and that is the problem of this phone guys. If you look at the right hand side corner over here, you can definitely see how the phone is being chopped up. You can see the pixels, and that reminds me of the LG G6. That's one of the reasons I never really got the G6, because I absolutely hated the way how they chopped the screen. And unfortunately that is the case with the Axon 9 Pro. Unfortunately they chopped the screen guys, and the thing is that when you see it first it's absolutely annoying, but with time you're getting used to it and it's not that big of a deal anymore. But it's just, you know, why do you do that? And the next thing is that about this notch, it's absolutely huge iPhone style notch over here, and because the phone is pretty much running stock Android, you don't have really any settings for tweaking the notch. For example, like the LG V40, you've got quite a lot of settings about the notch. and it's very cleverly hidden most of the time, but over here it doesn't blend in properly. And the thing is that I've got no space for the battery percentage, which I absolutely hate, guys. You have to swipe down like that in order to get the battery percentage. I don't like that. And the other thing is that I've got dark mode activated, and dark mode is only for the quick shortcuts over here and not for the settings menu whatsoever. And the thing is that there is no really proper theming engine on this phone, so you can't really change the looks over here. Of course, you can change these icons. You've got a few different styles, but pretty much that's about it, guys. I don't really like the software of this phone. Yes, it's stock Android, it is quite fast, but apart from, let's see, apart from what functions do you have? Features, you've got navigation keys. Yes, with the Pi update you can use the navigation gestures. The problem with that is that the integration between the gestures and the stock launcher is not very good. For example, when you try to swipe up like that, check this out. First of all, it activates the multitasking, and then you go to your icons, which I absolutely hate. This is an Android Pie feature, let's put it this way, which I don't really like, and the implementation of these gestures plus that, check this out, guys. This is absolutely annoying. Why do I have to you see what I'm talking about. Now, when it comes down to performance, we've got Snapdragon 845. It performs absolutely brilliantly, guys. There is no lag, there is no problems whatsoever. Now, when it comes down to gaming, you've got a dedicated gaming mode, which basically does absolutely nothing to the performance. ZTE claims that you've got a performance boost. This is just not the case. I've tested the game boost mode with the Kazja benchmark application. You've got the same FPS basically. And the other thing is that you've got no full screen controls for the gaming. Check this out. When you have a game which is dark like that, that's not big of a deal, but check this out. On the left corner over here, guys, the screen is just chopped off like that, and you don't have the option to enable full screen gaming, which is unfortunate, but again, you know, stock Android experience, that's what you get. When we talk about audio of that phone, there is no 3.5mm jack anymore. I've got no idea why this is gone, but at least we've got the dongle inside the box, guys, which is a rare thing to see nowadays. I'm looking at OnePlus now, and I can verify that this dongle is one of the best on the market right now. It matches the HTC dongle, which was my all-time favorite. So this little cheap ZTE dongle is one of the best on the market, and combine that with the Dolby Atmos settings, you're getting a pretty much 5 out of 5 headphone output experience. But unfortunately, again, you've got no 3.5mm jack. Now, what about the speakers of the Axon 9 Pro? I would say that they're very good, guys. Not exactly one of the best, but definitely the quality is there and the overall loudness is very good. The thing is that we've got like 30% coming from this speaker over here and like 70% over here. So hear this out. Can you hear the difference? Yeah. Now let's talk about the battery life quickly, guys. 4000 mAh of battery, the standard quick charging technology, nothing fancy. Half an hour gives you 45%, 1 hour 80%, and full charge in 1 hour 40 minutes, which is not too bad considering the 4000 mAh capacity. Now, in real-time usage, check this out. I'm getting 6 hours screen on time on this phone, guys. Let me show some of my other screenshots over here. 8 hours 31 minutes. That was the ultimate Wi-Fi test at home only, guys. With the display brightness at, let's say, 40%, you're getting 8.5 hours, which is fantastic. 5 hours 47 minutes on 4G all day long, 5 hours 46 minutes, 6 hours and 3 minutes, 6 hours 31 minutes, and 6 hours 24 minutes, guys. Pretty much, if you're very heavy on 4G, expect about 6 to 6.5 hours, and if you're light on Wi-Fi only, probably about 8 hours, which is fantastic for 2019. Okay, guys, so it's time to conclude this video. Where does it leave us with the Axon 9 Pro? Well, you might have noticed that I didn't talk about cameras at all, simply because I'm going to do a separate video covering that, because the cameras are actually quite good and I wanted to go a little bit more into detail and not waste time in that particular review because it's already long enough. Once the camera test is ready. I'm gonna link it in the description down below, so make sure you come back and check it out. Now, I'm gonna rate this phone according to the Vulkin Spectrum scoring system from 0 to 5, depending on how good the phone performs in 10 different categories. The first category is design and build quality, and although the phone is built excellently with premium materials, I really don't like the notch and the overall iPhone 10 style, so I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. In terms of security, we've got an excellent rear mounted fingerprint reader, the old school one, not the gimmicky under the display one, an excellent face unlock and double tap to wake, so easy 5 out of 5. On the battery life section, I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. Yes, you can get 8 hours of screen on time, but most of the time you're getting just 6, which I expected a little bit more from 4000 mAh with 1080p screen. For example, the Poco phone with the similar characteristics, I'm getting over 10 hours of screen on time, so 4 out of 5 is well deserved. Now next up is the screen, and I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5. Why? It is an AMOLED screen, yes, but it's only 1080p, and the way it's cut over here absolutely pisses me off. The notch is way too big and there is no settings for tweaking the colors, so yeah. The speakers, I'm gonna give them 4 out of 5, and although it's a stereo speaker setup, you've got like 70 or 80% coming from the bottom and just 20% from the top. They sound great, but they're not one of the best ones available right now, and especially compared to the Axon 7 speakers from 3 years ago, that's a little bit of a downgrade, I would say. And about the headphone output, it's absolutely amazing with the 3.5mm dongle, but simply because you don't have the jack, I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. The performance gets 5 out of 5 anytime, because Snapdragon 845 is still a very capable chipset, and according to the software section, I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5, simply because you're missing some features, although it's a stock Android. And now the cameras, although I didn't cover them in that particular review, I'm going to score them anyway. The front camera is 20 megapixel and it gets 3 out of 5. The rear cameras, you've got one 12 megapixel main camera and one 20 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, and both of them get 4 out of 5 for a total score of 40 out of 50, which places just below some of the high-end flagships that I've reviewed, which is an absolutely marvelous score for a phone which costs only 300 euros, guys. So what is my final verdict of the Axon 9 Pro? The only potential deal breaker is the cutout of the screen, which you're getting used to within, let's say, the first 2 or 3 days of usage. And the screen, although it's not the best, is still an AMOLED screen and is gonna get the job done totally. Now there's a feature called, I don't really know how it's called, but some sort of a HDR 60 FPS simulation or something like that. It really doesn't work that well. I switched this one off. But anyway, that's just on the side note, one of the ZTE gimmicks that they've tried to implement, as well as the job to activate the torch for like the Motorola one. Can you imagine, guys? But on the side note, it works only when you're at the lock screen, otherwise you can't really activate it, but I should have talked about that in the software section. But anyway, so yeah, overall sweet package. Stereo speakers, big battery, very good cameras, overall excellent design and build quality. You can't really ask for more for 300 euros, guys, which is about 260 pounds, I believe. And this phone is easily comparable to the Poco phone. The first phone that comes to mind when I talk about this phone is definitely the Poco phone, guys. This is, let's say, an upgraded version of the Poco phone with a better screen and better cameras, but a little bit less of a battery life. So considering the Poco phone is still about 220-250 pounds, this is the perfect alternative, and that's, let's call it a work phone. It gets, no matter what you throw at it, done straight away, guys. It doesn't really shine in terms of design. Nobody's going to be impressed of what kind of phone have you got, but you know that it's gonna get the job done perfectly fine. And if I were you, I was looking for a good overall all-round smartphone in 2019. I wouldn't waste money for, let's say, the OnePlus 700 pounds. You gotta be mad to do that. I've got a video covering that as well. Instead, just buy this one, 250, use it for 6-7 months, give it to your friend, children, mother, father, whatever, give it to a family, move on to another phone. And it kind of like always buy the last year flagship, guys. I've got the LG V40 as well. That's one of the best value for money phones you can buy right now for about £400. But anyway, for 250, nobody can touch the ZTE Axon 9 Pro. So yeah, that's pretty much, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below anything. How do you feel about my videos? Do you want me to improve on the video quality, the microphone quality? Overall, what do you think about my channel at the current stage? And what do you want me to do for 10,000 subscribers, which are coming down real soon? So yeah, that's about it this time. Adios.